So it's Sunday night, and it is time for my mental health vlog, and it is also Halloween. Happy Halloween. This is my favorite holiday of the year, but it's always a little bittersweet when I don't get to spend it with my son. So seeing all the kids in costumes is always really cute, and I love it, but it's hard. I've struggled with it the past couple of years, but having this year, I've had more kids than I have the past couple of years because of the new neighborhood, and it's been great to see all the costumes and all the kids. And I know my son is having a great time trick-or-treating. But there's only so many years left he's gonna do that. And I miss him. We had a lot of kids tonight. We were running low on candy because we were sitting outside. My boyfriend and his dog and I were sitting outside because there were just so many kids. There was no point in staying inside. And we were running low on candy, and the dog needed dinner because we forgot to buy him food today. So I had to run to the store real quick. While I'm at the store, my boyfriend calls me. He's like, "Can you get extra candy because some kids just stole all our candy?" I guess he had walked the dog to the end of the street to show him off, and somebody came to the door and just snagged they left the bowl to take all the candy. So little fuckers. Because we were already stretched pretty thin, and we were only doing like one piece per child. But anyway, Halloween. I do love Halloween, but definitely missing my son today. And I think that's made me a little bit of an asshole. My boyfriend and I ended up getting into not a fight, but I guess I was acting like an asshole and pissed him off. And then I didn't care that I had pissed him off, and I just added fuel to the fire, which reminds me a lot of what my dad would do. I was very much my dad today. Not proud of that. So he and I had a little bit of a conversation this afternoon, right as kids were starting to come up, so it was kind of hard. But we ended up talking it out and working through it, I think, anyway. I'm sure there'll be more conversations to be had, but we did have my son this weekend on Friday night and Saturday afternoon, and Friday night was the school's carnival. My boyfriend and I got to take him, and my boyfriend was super excited about taking, my son to a school event and the carnival. And my son was, I forgot to give him his afternoon pill, which is part of the reason he was so challenging, but he was not really listening, and he was running around with his friends, and it was very hard to try and get him to do the things that you're supposed to do at the carnival. We bought tickets, there's rides, there's not rides, but there's games, there's events, there's stuff to do, and all he wanted to do was run around and show off his costume. And a part of me, I'm like, yeah, I get it, I was the same way. So at some point, I'm like, because I was trying to get him off the playground, because I'm like, you can play at the playground every day at school. Why do it today? Well, I can't do it in my costume every day at school, or whatever. So at one point, I'm like, you know what? You go do whatever you want to do, just do not leave this fenced area. And he kind of got upset about that I was giving him permission to do what he wanted to do, because I think he also felt that made him feel bad a little bit, because I'm really good at Southern guilt. I get that from my mom. But so he walked off. Okay, so my boyfriend and I went to do the cakewalk, which is the only thing I enjoy doing at these things, because, cake. I didn't win. We didn't win. So we did one game of cakewalk, and then I walked off. I'm like, well, I wonder where my son is. Let's try and find him. And he was all the way on the other end of the soccer field. He looked very upset. So I started walking to him and he started walking to me. And then as he got closer, I realized he was in tears. He was crying because he could not find me. I'm hard to miss. I'm 6'6". I have colorful hair, and I was wearing a unicorn costume that had a colorful stripe down the butt. I was really hard to miss, but he couldn't find me. And he was super upset. So I was super upset because he was upset. But we hugged it out. We talked about, a little bit of freedom, and that I would never leave him. So he had no reason to be scared. But so we reconnected and we did a couple more things. And then we just like, you know what? It's dark. You can't see anything. We're done. So we just left and we got some food on the way home. And then he wanted to spend the rest of the night in his room. So I didn't feel like fighting with him. I felt bad about it, but I didn't feel like fighting with him. So I let him hang out in his room. And then the next day we ran some errands in the morning, and then we started working on Dungeons and Dragons characters because he wants to play, and my boyfriend is looking up, how to play. So we're in the phase of development where we have to create our own characters and whatnot. So that's fun. I always feel like I'm forgetting something when I make these vlogs. Did a little more work around the house this week. Got some pictures up on the wall in the office, so it's starting to look a little bit better. We got our curio cabinet together so we can start putting stuff out. I got this beautiful piece of art from my boyfriend. It was meant to be a Christmas present, but I guess things got spoiled as we were unpacking when we moved, and I saw one of them. So he thought I saw both of them, so he gave me both of them, and one of them was this gorgeous, exquisite, Maleficent piece. And it's just beautiful. And I got to tell you, I'm so happy to have some form of a collection. Again, I collect Disney villain-esque stuff, and it was an agreement when my ex and I split and I moved out that we would sell my current collection, and all the proceeds would go to my son's college fund, which is great. All those pieces are packed away and will get sold, but it's nice that I did get a couple of those pieces on the lower end of the cost. And then my boyfriend's got me a few pieces. So I'm thrilled to have a collection again because it makes me so happy to look across the room and see pieces of characters that I just love. I love having the collection. It just makes me happy. And I really didn't think I was ever going to have a collection of sorts again. So it's great to have the beginnings of that. It really does just make me happy. What else happened this week? Found out I might be going to New York and in December, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to take my boyfriend with me or not. So one of the things I had talked about with a guy in my SAA group is this is the only time I've traveled in a city where I'm actually kind of worried about my sobriety. And because of that, I'm going to make sure I'm taking extra steps. I'm going to have a travel plan in place. If I am going by myself, I'll have a travel plan in place, and I will be in constant communication with the members of my SAA group when I'm not actively doing things for work. So I'm 99.9% sure I won't have a problem staying sober, but having that extra support system it will just be a huge help, just because it's a huge city with a vast, gay population, and I just want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to maintain my sobriety. And I think maybe I'll take some step work with me, and that'll be something good to do in downtime in my hotel. So we talked about my son, talked about the house is finally ready to be listed. The listing documentation has been signed. Photographs of the house were taken today. It'll be on the market by this weekend. Thrilled. So happy to be done with that. And my ex and I had a little bit of a scuffle earlier this week about getting the listing paperwork signed and stuff that we had agreed to, and just little details, minutia of the contract. But it's done, it's signed, it's going on the market this weekend, and soon the house will be a distant memory and out of my life. So, love the memories that I made there. Love the time that I had with my family there, but ready to be done with it. Ready for it to be gone. Okay, guys. So that's the gist of this week. I spent a lot of time being an asshole or easily irritable or God knows what. God knows why. And yeah, so there you go. That was my week. I hope y'all are having. I hope y'all have had a good Halloween. I hope y'all had a lot of kids. I was looking forward to leftover candy. There is no leftover candy. But great time. A lot of great kids. So, and hopefully I'll hear from my son tonight when he gets done trick-or-treating. Fingers crossed. Have a great night. Check on your friends. Make sure they're doing okay. Check on your loved ones. And as always, check on yourself. Make sure you're doing okay. I did a little bit of self-care this week. I got a massage. That was great. And I got a haircut. They botched it, but I got a haircut. All right, guys. Happy Halloween and a happy Sunday. And hope y'all are great. See you next week. Bye.